All right, Rene, what's bothering you?
I don't know. I think it's like my Achilles, maybe, like right under where it connects to my foot. I think my hamstring and my calf have been a little tight. It's kind of just been pulling on that. It just hurts a little bit.
It feels more like sticky, tight, like
yeah, kind of
like
pulling on the sole of my foot in a way.
Got it. And it seems like it kind of starts through here, but you feel it like really pulling down here.
Those are the prime suspects.
Got it. And any idea how it started?
I thought it was maybe from wearing flip-flops everywhere. But
do you wear flip-flops a lot?
I do wear flip-flops everywhere, yeah.
Is it safe to say you only wear flip-flops?
It's safe to say I only wear flip-flops.
Okay.
But no, it wasn't from me running in them or anything. So I don't know, maybe just a couple different factors adding up with that. I do only train at the gym barefoot too. Mm-hmm. So like I did like some sled sprints barefoot and stuff like that. Do you think maybe that could have been it?
Possibly. All right, let's treat it. I'm gonna start doing some like manual work through your hamstring, calf. We're gonna Graston back here. We're gonna do the work. So we're gonna loosen this up. So Rene, while I got you on my little show here, tell the world a little bit about you for me. Let's start from like, what do you do?
So my name is Rene Sousa. I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I compete and I travel full time with Jiu Jitsu. So it takes a lot of like maintenance on my body to like keep me healthy. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 15 years. Recently just got my black belt. In the past like year or two, like I've been competing at the world level scene and stuff like that. I've been working with Dr. John, mobility doc, for the last like probably 2.5 years.
We became pandemic friends.
Yeah, pandemic, right? Mid-pandemic,
yeah.
And yeah, for me, sustainability has always been like a huge goal of mine in jiu-jitsu. So when I initially reached out to Dr. John, I just told him, I was like, I don't even know if I really need treatment all the time, maybe for some things here and there, but I kind of just want to learn about some different like stretching routines and things that I can do to like just like keep up the maintenance, because I already knew that was the answer to long-term health and like longevity and stuff. So ever since we have been working together, we've been working on different like daily routines and things to do pre-match and like while traveling and stuff, leading up to competitions or just on the daily. So yeah, he's been supporting me on my goals to get to this next level, and yeah, everything's been going really well. I really like doing like not just traditional jiu-jitsu, but like doing like really innovative jiu-jitsu. So I really worked on a movement called the buggy choke in the last like 1.5 to 2 years.
I think I've heard you talk about it.
Oh yeah, you might have seen it on a t-shirt. That has been a really like interesting position that I've been working on, and it's demanded a lot of parts of my body. So it's demanded a lot of my forearms, demanded a lot of my elbows, demanded a lot of my shoulders, my knees, my hips, my feet. And like throughout the whole time that I've been working on developing the move, Dr. John was here like grasping my forearms, helping me open up my shoulders, helping me open up my hips. And then yeah, like I've been able to like really like utilize that setup and utilize that submission like on some really tough opponents, and been able to really like truly buggy choke the world. And yeah, still doing that.
What was the hardest part when you first started really trying to like develop your buggy choke? What actually was the hardest part for you in terms of like the skill itself?
Like you mean like
getting into
like
the
body? Yeah. Body wise, I think the hardest part is to set yourself up in the right way so you're not stressing your knee out. Because if you're setting yourself up in a way where you're pulling your foot past your knee, then you're submitting yourself, right? So that's something I'm definitely not trying to do. I'm trying to submit the person, not hurt myself. So that's the first thing. And like we were just talking about a little bit, how to use your upper body to connect to your lower body is really important. So that's something I really worked on. And truly, like I just really like worked on it in a bunch of different ways, like on my training partners, students, you know, like even at first I couldn't really lock it up like in the adults class, so I just went to the kids class and buggy choked all the children. And you can ask them. You can ask them. All of them will attest to this. And then truly for a couple months, that's all I did. And it's cool because it's something now that's a part of my game that people are really like worried about and scared about. But it's not the only dimension of my game. I have a lot of different aspects of my game that I like to do. And yeah, it's been fun.
You had a big win recently, not buggy choking this time.
Yeah,
but
not buggy choking.
Catching someone by surprise, right?
Yeah, so I was going against one of the best like leg lockers in the world, and leg locking is like sort of like an evil kind of thing that people do because they just kind of like in jiu-jitsu, they kind of just sit on their butt and then just like wait for you to step in and then boom, catch your foot or catch your knee or something like that. So this guy was just trying to leg lock me. He was so scared of my buggy choke, he didn't even want to come on top of me. So like every time he would like create a position where he could come on top, he would sit right back down.
So he actually changed his game to avoid your he modified his game maybe a little bit to avoid. Yeah,
absolutely. But then from there, I just kept defending, and then not only like with my strength trainer, but here like I really like work on being flexible and not just like being able to squat my butt down or be able to do a good like 90-90 or bretzel. Like I really need to be strong and be able to like be flexible in all these like different planes of motion. So he was really off balancing me in a lot of crazy ways. My knees were tested in a bunch of ways, my ankles were tested in a bunch of ways, and I just kept escaping, kept staying like in the correct spots, one step ahead of him. And then finally, like there was a small moment earlier in the match where I saw him attack me in a certain way, and I tried to re-attack and it didn't really work, but I was able to escape. But then towards the end of the match, I felt my pressure kind of wearing on him a little bit, and I set him up in a certain way, and I got a submission that I was really working on, where I like knee barred him and almost like snapped his leg in half. So thankfully he tapped out, and I didn't have to snap his leg in half.
You tapped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It seemed like, even as someone who is only more of like a fan and admirer of the sport, I could recognize there was like no question for him. He was like not getting out. He didn't even mess around.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Because it's like you don't want to hurt somebody, but then at the same time, it's at that level where if you don't make somebody want to like scream, quit, then they might just like get out, you know. And I was able to not only catch that, but because it was a cool submission, I was able to catch a submission bonus from the sponsor of the event and also submission of the night. So it was
Which event was it again? It was a big one.
Who's Number One, yeah. So it's like Flow Grappling puts on this Who's Number One to like check out the rankings and do all these high level matches and stuff. And yeah, he was ranked like 3rd in the world, so it was cool to. And I came into the match like unranked, so it was pretty cool to like. First of all, I was just happy to get the match, but then second of all, it was really cool to do well. And people, does that mean you're 3rd in the world now? I'm like, not really, you know, but it just means it's good for my stock. You know?
Yeah, it certainly shows you're a contender at the top, though.
For sure, yeah.
How has this like helped to shape or at all change your next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months?
So I got home and I got my black belt, which is like
and you had a birthday.
Next level, and my birthday. It was my birthday, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, so that kind of changes it because now it's like, in terms of being at this next level, I've like truly proved myself, and I've gotten a lot of opportunities for different matches and stuff like that. So yeah, just competing at this high level and just really doing my best is what is the plan for this next couple months, you know.
What's your next big competition?
Next weekend, I'll be at the Rise Invitational in Long Island, New York, fighting like a top 10 UFC fighter not in UFC or MMA, but in Jiu-Jitsu. And then after that, April 16th, we'll be right here at 10th Planet Bethlehem for the Finishers Sub-Only Survivor Series. Will be a 5-on-5 type event, one at a time, but like it's pretty cool because if like you win, like say for example, I go out for my first match, I win my first match, I take a 1 minute break and then I stay in, I fight their second guy. So I could theoretically fight their whole team.
It's kind of like a King of the Hill kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Brings in this team aspect into jiu-jitsu, which I come from wrestling too, so that dual meet style of like having a team next to you is really cool, and jiu-jitsu doesn't really have that. We do a lot of tournaments and stuff like that, and we have our teams that go to the tournament, but it's not really this like my team versus your team. So I'm excited for my fight next weekend and this one in April.
Let's jump back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just cross in real quick while I'm doing this.
Nice.
All right. I was saying I had the benefit of getting to know you before all of your meteoric rise in the sport. But you were a teacher for a bit, right? And tell us a little bit about what it was like to change from being kind of like 2 full-time jobs, athlete, teacher, to giving up the typical job, like the traditional job that is, and then committing full-time to athlete.
Yeah. So before I got the teaching job, I was already doing full-time jiu-jitsu, but COVID hit, and I left college in my engineering degree. I got my environmental science degree and just decided to pursue jiu-jitsu full-time. And then the teaching position just kind of got dropped in front of my lap, and I was like, you know what, this is something I would like to do, because in college I really liked like the education component of like making a difference, and like just, you know, at least for me, like sustainability was really important. So like teaching kids about that, and, you know, high schoolers would have been super cool. So I really liked the job, and it really aligned with my side hustle of being able to train all night, and being able to still travel a little bit and do my thing with competing. But within a year and a half, I mean, I was given the biggest opportunities I've ever gotten to date. And when I was on the reality show that I was on, all I did every day was just jiu-jitsu, had nowhere to hustle to or run around to make money or anything. I was just doing jiu-jitsu every day. And it really just, not only did it show me I was in like the top 8 of the world, because they picked like 16, and the first day 8 people lost, so 8 people got to go into the house, and I was one of those 8 people.
You won by buggy choke, right?
I won by buggy choke, yeah. So like it showed me that I was in the top of those people, or in the top of the world of jiu-jitsu, but also at the same time it showed me that that's what I would really like to do every day, and also with a focus on competing, which is more difficult to make money. So in that transition of the last like 6 months, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to come back next year. A lot of my students were sad. My mom, my sister, you know, not everyone is like super supportive of it, because the financial aspect of it is very difficult. Because maybe if I owned a jiu-jitsu school, I would have consistent money coming in all the time. But as of right now, it's very difficult to keep that consistent money coming in. But what's awesome is to be able to focus on being a professional athlete, and really grinding on getting to the next level. And what's cool is coming up on a year full time. So June last year is when I stopped teaching, and it's March right now, so it's almost a year. And I really feel like I've really been able to hit my stride. I've had so many opportunities in this last year that I wouldn't have been able to take if I was still teaching. And I did like the teaching job, but for whoever is like listening, people can take the safe route, but like, what if you take the safe route and it still ends up in like some dead end sadness kind of thing? Like, why not go for something, you know? So like that's the kind of viewpoint that I have on it. Like my parents are immigrants. They came here, did something that they don't like for their whole lives, and like, you know, gave us a life that me and my sister have. But at the same time, like, I just never saw them being happy in their careers, you know? And like, for me, not only do I think that I have something special to offer in what the services I do, but I just really want to be happy first and foremost. And I know that, being happy and being positive and peace and love doesn't pay all the bills, but I know that like what I'm doing has like value. And maybe I'm not a black belt in business yet, but I'm working on it. And I think over the next couple of years, I'll definitely be able to like make my dreams a reality in that way. But it definitely does take that like confidence in yourself to take that like leap of faith and to jump. And it's cool because it's not just a jump in terms of like business and being able to like be my own boss and do all these things, but it's the confidence I have in myself in like the competition aspect. It's like, I want to push myself to like, if I think I can get to like a certain level, like I want to smash that. I want to get a lot higher than I think I can, because I just think all the constraints that you put on yourself, like they're just figments of your imagination. They're not actually real, you know? Like what's real is like being present in reality and like just doing the damn thing, you know? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to these next couple of years. You know, I just turned 26, so it's like maybe not my prime, but like really like getting into my prime. So I'm really looking forward to these next couple years of competing, and truly like for me, like traveling and doing jiu-jitsu, already just amazing. So
And if people want to support your cause, maybe work with you, buy merch, all those things, like any direction of where to send them
just
yet?
check out my Instagram at RENE_SOUSA. We're dropping my shop soon with a bunch of Buggy Choke the World t-shirts, rash guards, a bunch of stuff. Or just like, for me right now, booking seminars is the biggest goal. I still do offer private lessons and I teach normal classes, but that's kind of the goal, the focus for the next couple of years. Push it, see how far we can go, and kind of go from there.
Awesome. How's this feeling?
Good. A lot better. Oh yeah, a lot better for sure.
I want to say I appreciate you, and I appreciate us making this with you.
Sure. Let's do it.
I appreciate this friendship.
Yeah.
And thanks for trusting us with like your path.
Well, I trust you guys with my body.
Yeah.
It's freaking huge.
Yeah.
Like when I text you and I'm like, "Is this okay?" and you're like, "Yes, it's okay." It's like my anxiety is completely off.
Yeah. For sure.
So it means the world to me that you guys work hard and know what you're talking about.
You've been really big in giving us feedback when we use our online programming with you, so that way I can like shoot you some things to do or like troubleshoot no matter where in the world you are, and that's helped me to help a lot of other people all over the world too. So
cool.
Yeah, so thank you for that.
No worries.
All right, let's get off this table.
What's up, guys? So if you guys are not feeling 100% or you guys just want to get better, just head to mobility-doc.com. And even if you guys aren't local to the Lehigh Valley area, Dr. John and the whole team at Mobility Doc have a lot of in-depth programming, a lot of video content that they've been working on that can help you anywhere you are in the world. So whenever I travel, they're updating apps and sending me videos and stuff like that. So if you guys need anything, reach out to them and get involved.